profession anyway.
Nah, niggas out the box all the time. Niggas know my motherfucking repertoire. Take care, B.I. Chef. Nigga. What up, yo? Time is running out. It's for real, though. Let's connect politics. Ditto. We can trade places. Lifted in the shakers. Word up. Scarface related style attract millions. Fans, they understand my plan. Who's the kid up in the green lane?
What's going on? Let's wait for a few more to show up, and we'll get into this.
Heads, niggas be wanting. Shutting down your slot time for pumping. Poisonous thing, which dumps up in that chunk space. Bang, bang, nigga. Fuck yeah.
Got so many interesting comments about kind of the premise of what we're doing here. So just continue to level set. You know, I'm going to go over interesting topics, things that are kind of, I think, going to be big and discussed on news during the day. And, also talk a little bit about Bitcoin. We're not day trading, as I said before, and maybe cover some business stuff too. So I was reaching out to Zach, Prince, and Flory this morning over at BlockFi to find out about a promotion they were running, which was really interesting. They were giving $1,000 in Bitcoin if you deposited money last month before the end of the month. So give me a second. Let me see. I thought they responded to me this morning. I'd like to get some feedback on that. Yep. I think you would be adding some folks on the team who should be able to confirm ASAP. All right. Let's see, has anyone else responded? No, I don't. It doesn't look like I have anything material. Any of you take advantage of that situation where you could make a deposit? I think it was $500 or more, and before July 31st, and you'd pick up another $1,000 in BlockFi. Just wondering. Luke Ashton, what's up, Jace? Any chance you can line up some more real estate talk in coming weeks? Big deals you've done using leverage, construction, or development? Literally anything. Big fan of the show. Yeah, definitely. Let me think a little bit about the real estate space. Haven't seen much in the news about it. I think people are absolutely going crazy with mortgage rates right now. So like the refi space, if you own any real estate, your primary home or investment real estate, it may be a really, really good time for you to think about refinancing. I know Pomp, myself, and my partners and other real estate dealers are looking at refinancing properties as a strategy to pull some equity out and redeploy that equity, or just get better cash efficiency in regards to operating capital. Does that make sense, Luke? Hopefully it does. All right, so let's jump in right out of the gate. It's like all TikTok all day, right? Let's see. I had some notes on this. I wanted to talk a little bit more. I thought it was really, really interesting how this thing is developed with President Trump. So over the weekend, again, Mnuchin supported some type of a deal with Microsoft. It appeared that the president was just pushing to block any kind of transaction and just penalize China as their rhetoric kind of ramps up. But now it appears that the president is supporting a deal for Microsoft to buy TikTok, and he feels that the United States or the Fed should get a cut of the deal, which isn't atypical for kind of a broker to get commission on a deal. Goldman would do the same thing. If you want to see a good rant on this, I thought Kramer did a good job of it this morning, talking about, how he feels the compensation should go. It just seems it seems odd to me. And it seems a little far-reaching, but it's 2020, so anything can happen. President Trump said he was ready to approve a purchase of the U.S. operation of the Chinese video sharing app TikTok, but only if the government receives a lot of money in exchange. Now, I'm not quite sure what a lot of money means in exchange, but typically they could scalp 10, 12% on deal fees on something like this. And this can be a big ticket deal. I'm sure the Chinese aren't very happy about it. I think Pomp wrote about it a little bit this morning as well. So you may want to check out his brief letter that he sends out every morning. I think he covered this topic because it was something pretty interesting. Think about this. The government forces a transaction and then commands transaction fees. And it's really kind of, I don't know. It doesn't seem like free market capitalism, but this is way out of my sphere of expertise. It just doesn't feel right. Maybe you all have formed an opinion on it and can validate why the U.S. government should ban a business from operating in America, force it to be sold to a U.S. company, and then financially benefit from that in regards to transaction fees or equity ownership in the company. Again, it just seems complicated, and I'm having trouble understanding it. Let's see if anyone's commented on that. Dallas, no. Videos, Luke Ashton, yeah, perfect. That's okay. Yeah, so if you've thought at all about TikTok and that deal, please hit me up on it. I'd like to talk a little bit about it. Microsoft has done some pretty major acquisitions too. So I don't know why the news media keeps saying like Microsoft's the only person that can do that, or the only company that can do the TikTok deal. I'm sure Apple has enough cash to do a TikTok deal. I know Warren Buffett probably has enough cash to do a TikTok deal. Microsoft paid $2.5 billion for Minecraft. They paid $26 billion for and I think they paid $7.5 billion for GitHub. So they're out there buying companies. So we'll see what they do with TikTok. I think that deal's going to happen. So really interesting stuff. Good morning, Hugh. It's good to hear from you. All right. There's also some really cool news about public pensions. As you know, our fund at Morgan Creek Capital, or Morgan Creek Digital, is one of the only, or was the only blockchain fund that had institutional investors, specifically public pensions. And public pensions had to kind of look at their asset allocations and modernize that. And the ones that we were successful in working with decided to invest in blockchain technologies, Bitcoin, et cetera, which was pretty exciting for Pomp, myself, and Mark. And we've enjoyed the relationship to date. But there wasn't like these, what I would say, innovative managers at these public pensions. There wasn't kind of a herd of public pensions and institutions that moved into the blockchain space. There are institutions that have invested, but public pensions, I don't think there was many others. That being said, it looks like the public pensions have benefited from the stock market's improved position in 2020, which I'm very happy to hear. I want the public pensions to be successful because that secures the retirement of good people that are participating in those pension plans. Beyond that, it looks like there was a fund that successfully raised some money from institutions in the blockchain space. I thought that was a really interesting development. Let me pull up the yeah. So it looks like Electric Capital raised 110 million for their second fund, and their focus is really interesting. They seem to be interested in layer one protocols, but also DeFi. So we will see how they do. I don't know how much money they raised in their first fund, but 110 million is not too shabby, and they have institutional backing. They didn't disclose those institutional backers, but Electric Capital is the name of the fund, and I think that's really cool. I think we're co-investors in Bitwise with Electric Capital, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure of that. So really cool stuff. Let's see. Dallas Robinson, Jason, good morning. How would you or how would I advise an institution who asked me to help get exposure into Bitcoin? My initial thought was to get them enrolled with BlockFi. Do they have an institutional onboarding team? Dallas, you may. Yeah, the answer is yes. I think Gemini and BlockFi have institutional divisions, but you may want to also consider Grayscale and GBTC. I think that that may check all your boxes for an institution to participate in Bitcoin in particular and get some exposure. That would be my suggestion. Savin Luffy, can you already monetize your YouTube videos? I don't think I can monetize my YouTube videos because I use music in them, and I'm not really. I haven't been trying to turn on ads and stuff. But again, this really is for me to allow for a discussion in entrepreneurship, business, and go over the news, which I do every day anyway. So I thought I'd just do it live, and I enjoy it. So there's some people in the live chat that I enjoy hearing from. If I can share strategies that I'm using to make money or protect my wealth, or just hold Bitcoin and participate in this scarcity. I think this is beneficial, mutually beneficial. So I appreciate you guys showing up. Parker Antoine, Jason, how would you value a public pension into net worth, current value or future value? Almost halfway there, view it as a pillar for future cash flow in retirement. How would you value a public pension into net worth? You probably have to mark to market your investment in the pension, right? I think that's answering your question. So you probably get a statement every year of how much money you've contributed to the pension, and from there you just put it on your balance sheet. I think that's probably the answer to the question. Hugh Meyer, we hear you just fine, but it looks like the feed is a bit off. We just went through a hurricane, so I apologize. I'm sure the Wi-Fi is wonky and glitchy. Just bear with us. A lot of places in North Carolina don't have power right now, and don't have Wi-Fi, obviously. Luke Ashton, why should the U.S. be able to directly be linked to and benefit from otherwise unrelated business exchange? I think that's related to the TikTok event. Luke, you may want to just clarify it a little bit. That would be helpful. Francisco Espinosa, what's up? Jay, show your art pieces. Let us see those NFTs. Yeah, Hernan, I'm super interested in the NFT space. And as you saw this morning on Twitter, I'm probably going to have Trevor Jones on. I just want to learn about how artists are using the digital medium and NFTs as an alternative thematic revenue opportunity. It's just a variation of platform, in my opinion. So you have oil and paint and sculptures and acrylic, and you have Now you've got a digital medium, so you could print and sign copies and do all these different things with art. You have physical one-of-ones, and now you've got NFTs. So I think it's going to be really interesting when kind of tier one artists move into the space and start to digitize their art. But I'm also looking for kind of the next amazing artists, and art. I have this pen. I don't know where it is right now, but I have a pen that I got. It's like an Andy Warhol Campbell's soup pen, and on it says art is what you can get away with. And I really feel like that. Like art is something that's really personal, and what appeals to one person doesn't appeal to the next. So, I share my love of art, and I'm interested in NFTs, and I am buying things that I think are cool, and that's really it. I'm buying them because I think they're cool. Do they have some monetary value? Yeah, because I'm paying in ETH to buy them, and that's a little difficult, simply because the price fluctuations of ETH. But it is what it is, and we'll see how this whole adventure goes down.
This is Michael Short of Puerto Rican Phenomenon, and we are now coming to the grand finale. The big thing, baby.
Crypto Raven, good morning. Jan, can you display your new artwork at home yet? No, not yet. Still working on a monitor to display the art, but that's the plan. The plan is to have some type of a monitor up where you could slowly rotate the art. I love the stuff that has motion, so we'll see how that all kind of works out. I wanted to talk a little bit about gold. I don't know if any of you are interested in gold, but I saw a really interesting article. May spend a little bit of time on it. Gold's been kind of ripping. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So the title of the article was "Why Gold Prices Are Hitting All-Time Highs." So gold prices hit a record at the end of last week, notching a new milestone in the bull run that began in late 2018 and has gathered momentum during the coronavirus pandemic. The precious metal has soared roughly 30% in 2020 to stop just short of closing at $2,000 a troy ounce, which would be an all-time high in New York trading, as it outstrips the NASDAQ Composite Index of high-flying technology stocks. So there's two gold markets, as I understand it. You've got the physical gold market, where you can go to like Shift Gold, not a sponsor of Going Parabolic, and you can buy physical gold and custody it yourself. And then you start to feel how difficult it is, how to kind of move it around, exchange it, store it. It's not divisible. It's not very portable, especially if you're buying large quantities of gold or silver. And who wants to have like a big vault of gold? Just let that play out. The second market is the futures market, and that's simply where you're trading paper on gold or contracts. And you saw the kind of oil futures market and how that played out, where if you buy a contract, at the end of that contract, I think you're made to take physical delivery of the gold. Most people don't do that. They sell the contract before the physical settlement date, and they go long or what have you. So that same thing played out in oil, and it was like catastrophic, right? When oil dropped, and those contracts became a tremendous liability because you were going to have to take physical delivery of the oil contract or of the oil, and people really that side of the trade, they don't have storage for oil or a use for it. They were just speculating. So it becomes like a sell at all cost, even a liability where you take a loss or you pay someone to take the contract. So anyway, those are the two worlds, right? You've got an exchange of cash for physical delivery, or you can play in the futures market. And gold is interesting to me. I saw some articles about how millennials are more interested in gold than ever, and I think, and I hope that all of you, as you contemplate like why you would want a hard asset like gold, why you're buying gold, I hope that would lead you to think more deeply about Bitcoin and why Bitcoin is good money, why its deflationary properties are so amazing. I have been talking about the qualities of Bitcoin for many, many years now, and only recently kind of was mind blown once again by Bitcoin and its deflationary properties. And I've talked in depth with Bitcoin Tina about this, and if you get a chance to listen to the interview I did with Bitcoin Tina, I think, or the few interviews I've done with Bitcoin Tina, I always find Tina to be so bullish on Bitcoin and so articulate around his feelings on why Bitcoin's such a powerful, good money. I challenge you to listen to that. But I also listened to recently the Grant Williams podcast. And if you get a chance to listen to that, the Grant Williams podcast, here, let me put it in the chat here. Listen. Here, check this out. Listen to the Grant. So you want to come to New York? Yeah, so check this out. Make sure you go listen to the Grant Williams podcast, episode 5 with Russell Napier. They talk about inflation and disinflation, and I think Russell does a great job of very accurately and authentically communicating kind of what the central is doing to you, what monetary policy, how they're working monetary policy to steal your savings. It's a really great podcast. It's about an hour and a half. Check it out. I thought it was is really good. I mean, it inspired these discussions with Bitcoin Tina and the likes of Russell Napier have inspired me to start to write a book, which I'm going to try to finish on kind of the history of money and how Bitcoin is changing everything. So we'll see how that works out. Let's see. Julian Breedbrook. Digital art is simply new way to distribute art. Same as music, now delivered digitally. Yeah, probably. Bitcoin 120K. I've said that I think Bitcoin could reach a new all-time high by October 31st. So that's like right around the corner as Bitcoin's kind of chopping around 11,000. Made a run up to 11,000 this weekend, then crashed $1,500. But yeah, we'll see. I really do. I think Bitcoin's positioned itself exactly uh, exactly where I thought it would be. So let's see. And then you've got all these projects just going crazy. I mean, the DeFi space is super hot, and Chainlink seems to be ripping. So again, I kind of speculate around the edges of this stuff. In the end, it's really all about Bitcoin to me. Ivan Litwenko, being a healthcare professional, would you get a COVID vaccine produced by Bill Gates? We've talked internally about the COVID vaccine. I think I would get a COVID vaccine that went through clinical trials, was proven, not rushed, and that I felt comfortable with. That being said, me personally, I don't take the flu vaccine ever. I try to eat well and get rest and stay healthy. That's been my strategy life in regards to the flu. I don't take the flu vaccine, so I'm not quite sure what happens with the COVID-19 vaccine when it comes out, but we'll see. I'm always open to change my mind. These are strong convictions I hold loosely. Mr. Android, what do you think about the Link and price prediction by end of 2020? I have no price prediction about Link. I've been fascinated by Zeus Capital and the Link Army and all that's going on there. If you don't know about it, go check it out. It's just wild. The paper that Zeus Capital put out on Link, and then it looks like there was a whole movement by the Link Army to liquidate Zeus Capital's presumed short position. I just got a kick out of the whole thing. Richard Greenwood, can we get some Sancho and Rune chat, please? Yeah, let's do that. Looks like Manchester United have gotten a deal done with Borussia Dortmund on Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, it will set the transfer record for Manchester United. It's looking like 120 million euro, but it'll be in installments. So I think it'll be 70 or 80 million euro up front, another 20, another 30. These are huge numbers. Jadon Sancho is an absolute beast. He'll add a whole new dimension to kind of the attacking play of Manchester United, where you've got Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, Jadon Sancho, Bruno, Pogba. It's starting to shape up really well. I hope that we continue to pursue Jack Grealish from Aston Villa. That would be really interesting. But it looks like the Glazers are ready to open up their pockets and spend some money. So that's good. In terms of Rune, it looks like Rune's been taking a kind of a scalp. I've been watching the price, but it's been down double digits, over a few days. When it listed on Binance, I think it hit 80 cents a coin, but now it's down to like 45, 43, something like that. So again, I'm not a day trader. I don't trade this stuff. I'm more interested in the tech. If you really want to dive deep into Rune, check out the interview I did with the team from Thorchain. Richard Greenwood, can we get? Yeah. Ivan, I'm learning how to turn my art into NFTs. I got a really cool time lapse of Manhattan sunrise on my Twitter. I want to sell. Interesting. Look, I think it's an opportunity to monetize some investments that you made. Crypto Inverser, Jason, which are your main money income actually? So I exited kind of the traditional job market in like 2001. So I was only out of college for a year or two before I decided that kind of working was not for me. So I started my own company, and since that time I've been employed as an entrepreneur. So I don't really get paid. I only get paid on exits or nominally to run businesses. So the majority of my income comes from dividends off of kind of my family wealth that I created. And that's really it. And I've been in that situation since I probably retired when I was 30. Retired, so was independent of, or not worried about like paying bills. Yeah. Luke Ashton, I initially thought Zeus were actually long, but DeFi tells all, and it looks like they borrowed a nice chunk for their short. Yeah, I saw that. So again, I don't know if any of it's true. There is a fair amount of transparency in DeFi. If you're really interested in that, dive into it, check it out. I don't know what the facts are there. They're doing their best to be the Pershing Square capital of crypto, but this will probably end in tears like Ackman's Herbalife efforts. Yeah, again, who knows what'll happen with all of that. Keith Richards asking me about residential real estate in these weird times. I think residential real estate's kind of hot right now, especially with people migrating away from really urban, dense environments simply because of COVID lockdown, and people are looking for kind of fresh air and kind of space, I believe. So if you're in one of these markets, and I was looking at like Texas. Texas, there are places in Texas that are just absolutely exploding in regards to migration of people from LA and people from New York. I've never spent much time in Texas, but it looks like it's a hot spot. All right, it looks like I may have gotten some more feedback on that BlockFi question that I had. All right, let's see. The way it works. Okay, here we go. Wanted to reach out real quick and confirm that you are eligible for the $500 bonus of this promotion. The way it works is clients get a specific dollar bonus in BTC based on trading volume during the promotional window. Okay. We also wanted to mention that the promotional window closed on 7/31, so no new clients will be eligible. Please see the promo. July trading promo, new BlockFi clients who sign up for BlockFi interest account and trade 1,000 or more in qualifying crypto during the promotional period 7/20 through 7/31 are eligible to receive up to $1,000 in Bitcoin. Traded value will be tracked as the sum of all qualifying trades executed during the promotion period. Stablecoin to stablecoin trades do not qualify. There is no cap on the number of times you may trade your balance. Bonus will only be applied to a maximum total traded value of 2x your BIA balance as of 8/16. Okay, so I don't know if any of you did some trading or started a BlockFi account during the time period between 7/20 and 7/31, but please check, because if you did, you could be eligible for a $500 bonus. And I thought it was there. BlockFi runs so many promotions so frequently, sometimes I lose track of them. So make sure you check that out. Jeff Ross, any updates on your new healthcare business? Yeah, so I'm kind of keeping this on the quiet tip, but I'm right now opening up a new iteration on primary care. These primary care offices will have extended hours. They'll have weekends, weekend availability. So they'll be open 7 days a week. You'll be able to get all of the services that you would expect from your primary care with or without an appointment. They'll have telemedicine. They'll have DOT services. They'll have a bunch of different kind of iterations on the way the office feels and is staffed. They'll have CLIA waived labs and X-ray capabilities, electronic medical records. Probably use Epic to do it. And looks like the first project will open up in October, and then I will try to open up 2 additional sites by the end of the year. So hopefully I'll finish this year with three new offices, and then The plan is to aggressively scale through 2021, 2022, and beyond. So, yeah, pretty excited about it. And as soon as I open the first one, maybe I'll be a little more specific. But yeah, so just kind of doing that. And I'm enjoying pulling a team together to execute on it. Francisco Espinoza, come out to Texas, Jason. I believe Joe Rogan is thinking about moving to Austin. Yeah, it was like Austin was like absolutely on fire. Absolutely on fire. What do you think about the BlockFi IPO? It will be good news. Yeah, I mean, I think that there are a number of crypto companies that could possibly do a SPAC. Coinbase, possibly. I think it'd be really interesting if BlockFi considered that. Who knows? But I think a lot of these really well-run companies that are EBITDA positive or have high revenue that meet the SPAC qualifications are looking for that public money. And these the SPAC vehicle is super interesting. We talked a little bit about it before in the on the channel. So very good. Let's make sure I covered everything. I wanted to go over schools, but I'm gonna pass on that today. Got a bunch of stuff going on, and let me try to lock down this interview with Trevor Jones and keep going down the NFT rabbit hole here. Otherwise, listen, take care, guys, and we'll talk next time.